get a Chinese 5-spice. This is the Indian 5-spice. But this is not ground. Okay. And you can grind it, but I find using it whole is far better.
Maybe that's what my dal needs. I'm always making dal with
absolutely what your dal needs.
Now serving on the Real G at my spice tables in the building again, visiting with the surprise. And I decided to surprise you too. I decided, because we're about to talk about a surprise now, I thought let me bring out the Indian whiskey. So no, it's not a jump on the fact that she's Indian. A lot of Indian people don't even know. A lot of Indian people I know don't know that there's whiskey made in India that looks like this. That's amazing. Oh my God, she didn't know too. She walked in and was like, whoa. And yeah, let's kind of start off with Nirvana. This is one of my favorites.
I can tell by the
because
level of the bottle.
Because I am a slightly peated lover.
Oh, so nice.
I like smokiness.
Me too.
And just how it sits in there. So cheers. Let's start there.
So excited.
Cheers. Oh, they're supposed to ting, are they?
Oh, that's true.
Ting.
Ooh.
Oh, this is
smells delicious.
Very amazing smokiness.
Oh wow.
You know?
I almost don't want to drink it. I was going to sit here and sniff it.
So actually, guys, sometimes in winter especially, and it's cold outside. I know. I'm cold-blooded.
Yeah. Well,
she apparently is. I don't know. She's from the Himalayas, I think. It's very cold out there. So in winter, whiskey is from a winterish region of the world. Scotland, very cold, all around the year. I mean, their summers are like 22.
I'm starting.
Go ahead. Yeah, cheers. So it's okay to open up your whiskey sometimes and put it in a glass and just let it sit in a room, especially if the windows are closed, mostly in winter, because come back 15 minutes later and most whiskeys that are above 46% ABV, the cask strength stuff, the 56%, really brings, you walk back in the room, especially a nice small room, you walk back in the room and you get this aroma, this parfum in the air from the whiskey. And it's okay to do it. I do it sometimes too.
You romanticize it so much.
I do it sometimes too, So yes, guys, at my spice table has brought a surprise for us. She has merchandise out. And she's here to tell us about it. Tell us, congratulations
Thank you.
on launching your brand of Your Spice Mixes. I love this.
It's really surreal because I don't think I ever saw this. I'm not really a visionary in that sense where I don't sort of plan, what's
entrepreneurial.
I mean, I don't sort of, okay, in 3 years, this is what I want to do. In 5 years, this is what I want to do. And, you've been with me on my food journey for the last 5 years. And this was not on my radar at all.
Yeah.
And it's sort of happened. And,
take us back to that first thought. What said, hey, people actually like my spices. I have to start blending for them and really giving them something to take home with. A few episodes back, we had Robbie from Once Bitter, and they woke up and they said, hey, we want to give people cocktails to go home. This kind of feels like cocktails for spices. These feels like cocktails of spices to take home.
That's true.
When I think of it. So at what point was it the spark hit and said, I have to merchandise?
So in the last time we were together, we chatted about, where it all began in terms of my love for spices. And, I spoke about, starting my Indian spice blending masterclass. And that was at the end of 2018. And I realized that I obviously realized my love for spice.
Yes.
You know, and I found that, but I also realized that between 2018 and 2019, and obviously because of lockdown last year, my classes couldn't happen because it's in-person classes. I realized that the guests that I had over at home for my class, they varied. You know, they would, couples would come in and the wife would spend the entire evening sitting at the dining table chatting to my partner while the husband was in the kitchen, and he was like, I want to learn this. I want to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
I have a theory. Oh, men cook. We're the best at it.
Okay, that's another conversation for another day. But I realized over that year and having to do those master classes, the type of guests differed. And you would get a guest that came in and wanted to learn right from the get-go. They literally would walk into the house and go straight to the pots and want to know and took notes and wanted to understand and, wanted to blend.
And walk away with value.
And walk away sort of not just coming and watching a demo. That's not what I do. I absolutely don't do that. And then you would get someone who just loved Indian food. And they just love the thrill of being able to sit and watch someone
cook it and make
do this and understand a little more than having to go to a restaurant and order, a meal.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It just it provided a little more authenticity in terms of how is it done, right from the core. And then you would get those that would absolutely fall in love with it to a point where they would go out and start buying spice grinders because they wanted to do it by themselves.
Yes.
Which was my aim for starting this class is people being able to understand how to use it. You asked what are the benefits of spices? What properties do they have? And so it's getting people to understand that. It's getting people to understand how to use it. It's getting people to understand how to understand moderation and application. And over the last year, I got requests for my spices. People had my food, and I obviously, like I said before, do far more than just blend spices in terms of my food repertoire. But, people who have had my food or still have my food were, Pashal, what spice blends do you have? And of course, exactly. And of course, over the last 2 years, starting to sort of dig deeper into spices, I've learned a lot. I've rediscovered spices. I've rediscovered blends. I've, played around with things and looked at what works and what doesn't work. And I realized that right now, we live in a world of such convenience.
Yes.
I
want it now. I want it my way.
Exactly.
I'm a problem client, When I go for breakfast, I'm like, God, I want scrambled eggs with milk. And then they're like, we don't do those. I'm like, I don't care. Get some
That's
milk.
what you want. So for me,
I'm kidding, guys.
It's being able to have someone experience the spices in a very simplistic way and in a very convenient way.
Yes.
This is just part of the range that is being or has been launched, and
nice.
and over the next, and I've realized that my love and my education and my interest has grown over the last 3 years. And I think it is
matured. It continues to mature.
But it's also
like my palate.
Exactly.
My palate matured.
Exactly.
Bougie now. I don't know Johnny Walker. Don't invite me for no Johnny Walker at your house.
It's a continuous evolution.
Yes.
So it will continue to grow. It will continue to develop. And you might try, let's say the Panch Puran today, and in a year.
Tell us about the Panch Puran.
So Panch Puran is one of my. I'm going to probably say all of them are my favorites because they're mine. But this is one of my favorites because I like cooking. I love dals. So do you.
Oh,
That's one of your favorites
I love a dal.
too.
I've said this in a couple of episodes. I love me a dal.
So it's one of my favorite dishes. Well, just lentils. Just lentils across the board. And this particular spice it's made for lentils. You can open it up and it's really aromatic. It's really, really aromatic. And it has spices in there that are so beneficial for your health. So I think you'd might want to do that with the garam masala because that's more roasted and smoky. But so how you would get a Chinese 5-spice. This is the Indian 5-spice, but this is not ground. Okay. And you can grind it, but I find using it whole is far better.
Maybe that's what my dal needs. I'm always making dal with
absolutely what your dal needs.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it to the test.
But apart from dal, it works really well with vegetable like squash and aubergine. It works really well with seafood. It's insane.
And it's winter. It's time for warm foods.
Exactly.
And those sound like some warm foods.
Comfort. And so for me, it's one of my favorites because it's not a ground spice, so you can actually see. So if you had to pour some out onto your surface,
can see what's in it.
You could absolutely identify exactly what's in there. Oopsie.
I want to mess it up now. Okay. So where can we order this? I mean,
so you could.
I'm ready to order right now. You don't know about y'all.
Favorite customer.
It's winter this weekend. Check my ass. Time to cook. You
could DM me on Instagram. You could send me an email. It's all my Instagram page. Okay. My email address.
Shipping anywhere in SA?
All over South Africa, very easily couriered.
Nice.
And
What's the next one?
The next one is plain and simple. It's not a blend per se. It's organic turmeric. Swear by it. Goes into absolutely everything.
Do you ever brush your teeth with turmeric?
Yes. You brush your teeth with turmeric. You pull turmeric and coconut oil.
Fresh.
So you would actually. I don't know if you can.
Like Woolies. Like a Woolies shop.
Really?
No, it's not a Woolies shop. Like,
no.
When I walk through Woolies sometimes,
you smell organic turmeric.
It just smells. They have this smell in one of these Woolies.
Okay.
Little tiny ones.
If you just buy regular
turmeric,
commercial turmeric, and you put that beside this, chalk and cheese. The color is different. The smell, the fragrance is different. And organic turmeric is far more potent than and you can get it really wrong with turmeric. And I remember moving from Durban to Cape Town, and obviously we made new friends, and people would invite us to their houses for like lunches and dinners, and for some reason insisted on cooking us curry. I don't know.
It's the same reason. It's the same reason.
I don't know what it is. But
I brought out the Indian whiskey.
Fresh.
Come on,
fresh off the boat per se from KZN.
How many memes have you seen?
And they insisted on cooking us curry every single time.
How many memes have you seen that are like, take the Chinese girl to a Chinese restaurant?
Why would you do that?
Because they try to make you feel at home. They're like, okay, how do we make them feel at home?
That's our job.
How do we make them feel at home? Okay, they're Indian, so maybe let's give them some Indian food.
And I get there, and I just sort of like look at my mom and be like, what are we gonna eat? What are we gonna eat?
But have you ever just kind of just said to people like, if they invite you a second time, do you feel comfortable to just like say, hey, make us something that you eat regularly.
That's authentic, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think back then we would like, I was 20 years old then.
Yeah.
So my confidence was not at that level. My confidence in cooking maybe, but not in telling some auntie.
Yeah, and the aunties.
It's just like it's far too much turmeric.
My friend was telling me
that
the aunties would just be like, no, just eat, man. And you're like, but I'm watching my waist. No, nonsense.
No,
eat.
that's absolute rubbish. And I always wondered, what is this? And I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
Because everyone has their own way of cooking. This is just coming from an Indian heritage.
Tripe stew without the curry.
I just couldn't understand. Coming from growing up in a culture where nothing was doused with turmeric, to a city now where every time you were served a curry, it was really yellow, and I just couldn't. It wasn't registering. It wasn't registering.
Yeah, I always see curries yellow. Is that too much turmeric?
No, but I think that this goes back to one of our first conversations about curry powder.
Oh, okay. So you're saying the commercial is
so
just
if you look at a curry powder, so let's quickly move on.
Yeah.
I'm not done with this. We quickly move on to this.
Okay, what is
this? This is a masala.
Okay.
So this is the Kashmiri masala.
Where would I use a Kashmiri masala?
So this you
hot. Says hot.
But it's so good. Just open it, smell it.
I love hot food, but I'm telling you, it says hot.
You don't need a lot of it, and that's the
thing.
That's the thing. Is that
smoked?
No, it isn't actually. No, it isn't. It's Kashmiri chili.
Really?
There's no paprika in that.
What?
And that's the thing, is it's just modesty. So you probably need is a teaspoon or two if you're cooking for two people.
A little bit,
just a bit of modesty and a bit of balance is what you need. And I think that for me, turmeric is so incredibly good for you health-wise. Yeah. My partner does an oat mix that we have in the winter. With turmeric and cinnamon.
And it is. I have to get the recipe and try it.
It's delicious. I told him to bottle it. He doesn't want to listen to me. I think I'm going to bottle that too.
And try it. Let's kind of bring out the bold. So I got two fresh new glasses. It's whiskey tasting, guys. We're tasting whiskey and spices.
I'm not going to give this back.
Oh, So this one is, nosing that kind of just reminded me of. Also peated, non-filtered, but this is the bold. And I find the bold has this blend of spice and licorice.
Ooh, aniseed. Love licorice.
You know what I mean?
Love licorice. So if you smelt the punch pouring, that has fennel in there, so you would get that note. You would get that aniseed note.
So there's a little bit of licorice happening in here. You still got the nice peat smoke coming out. Oh, shout out to Paul John, yo. They're doing some great stuff. There's a whole range. One of these episodes we'll do that, and I'm definitely gonna spend some time cooking with these spices and maybe tasting with other stuff other than stuff made in India.
Exactly.
Kind of give it a nice balance. But let's get into this honey, licorice, peated. Bold, and I get why they named it bold, because it is very out of most of their range. And you've had the Nirvana. Trust me, when you whiff this one out, ooh,
oh, this I like.
Difference.
Wow. Wow.
It is, eh? Now serving whiskey. That's what we're doing.
I like peachy whiskey. Oh wow. This smells amazing.
Tastes amazing too.
This smells.
And there's a lot of peated whiskeys out there, and their range is
up top.
It's just up there. Q&A. I got the Q&A.
Oh, so different. Sorry to interrupt your Q&A.
Very.
Wow.
Very different,
really different.
Drastic. Just
wow. So smell the garam masala.
Cool, so I'm gonna go.
And you understand that has a smokiness. That's for me the flagship.
Oh, this smells like I could eat it right now. Yeah, there we go. So this would definitely work.
Connects.
A nice biryani or
a good lamb curry, slow cooked.
Oh, with some naan, garlic naan happening there. Oof. I'm ready.
Winter.
I'm ready for winter. Bold is my favorite. I love the bold, eh? I love it. See, another one in the bag. There we go. Q&A. So we order your spices. I can order just the bottle. Is there like a special kit? We had shout out to Once Bitter on the show. They have you could order like 4 together. That's
amazing.
You could order one at a time. So what's happening with the kit? Can I order all 4? Can I order one at a time, or is there a special kit? And I think my most worry whenever I'm buying spices is longevity.
Yeah.
I cooked the other day and I had I had a box of mixed spices, and it was a korma. I don't know if you pronounce it like that.
Korma, yeah. Korma?
Yeah, there we go, a korma. and it just tasted so flat. And then I looked at the box and I was like, oh.
When
I looked
did
at it, I'm
this
like,
expire?
and I'm like, no. I was looking at it, I'm like, whoa. You know, it wasn't actually expired, but it had a manufacturer date. Mm-hmm. And there was a couple of years before the pandemic.
Really?
Exactly.
Really? Okay, so just to put you in the picture, all of these that are in front of you were manufactured this morning.
Okay. So manufactured this morning. How long can I?
So with my spice.
Can I be making my dal?
So I've mentioned this before. When it comes to Hold Spice, that has a far longer longevity because it's seed. So, I was actually thinking about this morning, and I sort of knew you were going to ask me this question. Sort of. And
I didn't say nothing yet. Nothing was said.
But with anything dried or preserved, it's not preserved, it's just dried, any sort of seed, nuts has a long, as long as it's airtight and dry, it keeps for a long time.
Yeah.
Dried fruit, keeps for a long time. So with a Hold Spice mix, you're getting a slightly longer shelf life.
Okay.
I would say I would push 1 year. Hold Spice.
Yeah, that's about it. Because you're cooking at least twice a week.
Exactly, and so you'll
kind of go through it.
Yeah, you'll see that my jars are not. You're not going to buy my spices in a kilo. You're not going to buy my spices in 500 grams, and